So welcome back everyone to another episode of Chat with Dan. For today on the show, what can I say? She's back. The incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only Grace. Grace, how are you today?
I'm so good. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. I'm happy to be back. I'm really
Absolutely.
excited.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I mean, what better way to start up a badass week than to be chatting with someone as badass as you know what I mean?
Oh, well, thank you so much. You're badass too.
Thank you. Now, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow. It helps a lot, you know the drill. But also, on the description below, you're going to find all of Grace's social media. Let's follow her. And by this point, you should know why she's super badass. In case you're not, the good thing is that she raises the bar. And in the description, you're going to find the first episode we did. So you could be like, I get it. I get it. And without further ado, let's jump in. So for today, it's a whole other conversation going on. In the first one, we spoke only on your career, basically. But for this one, let's do like a little bit more retrospective to it, like a little more deep into the whole, right? Into your whole career. Now, that being said, I will start with the first question, which is when you look back at where it all began, you know, like that first spark, that first dream, what do you remember the most about the person you were back then?
Oh my gosh. I remember as a child, I was so excited. I was so positive about everything. And I really was just excited for the future. You know, how my family was, I was always growing up in theater and everything, but my mom wouldn't let me really audition or like go out for agents until I graduated high school, which I don't know, I might have done things differently looking back, but my goal was always as soon as I graduate high school, I'm going to go to college in California, I'm going to audition, and then when I graduate, I'm going to work and audition. And I just always had that imagination, that feeling like it's gonna work out. I have this dream, I have this idea for a reason, so I have to do it, like, there's no other option, there's no other choice.
That's pretty cool. And how challenging that has been when this kind of comparison bug creeps in. Like, you know what I mean? Like how you're able to kind of, it's their journey, it's fine. I need to work on mine and I'll let those toxic comparison feelings creep in because if I do that, they're going to basically ruin me.
No, for sure, you can't well, you kinda have to have blinders on, when you do anything in the industry. I mean, it's easy to compare, and it's easy to let people's what they say I mean, so many people told me, "Don't move to California, it's not worth it, pursue something else," and I listened to the information, but at the end of the day, when it's something that you can't stop thinking about, you have to do it, you just it's your life, you have to do it for yourself.
I mean, I can understand sometimes whenever those comments come from. I mean, I do think that if those comments come from a place that in which they want something better for you, you know, they don't want to see you failing or they don't want to see you having like this like struggle, right? They don't want to see you struggle. But I do think that it's okay if someone wants to take that jump to let them know you are there for them. You know, I do think that when you are encouraging them to do it and when you are actually supporting them, that can have like a better impact as don't do that because you might not gonna make it, right? Or things like that. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. And my parents are definitely like that. I've kind of moved back and forth a little bit. Like I was in California, I came to Florida. I'm probably going to go back to California again. And there were moments where I was expecting my parents to kind of say, okay, I think it should be done now, or blame me, or, say, see. But they actually did the complete opposite. And my mom was like, it's your life. This is something that you have to do. You see yourself doing. And no matter what, the ups and downs, we're going to be here to support you. And that meant the world to me because, you do sometimes I do feel, I have other family members that are really successful. They're going to college, they're doing something medical, they have kind of like a set career path. And so it can be a little intimidating, scary because you kind of have to, like I said, you have to have your own idea of what success in your life is. And, everyone's different, but I just realized, yeah, I have to do performing, I have to act.
Now, even after all the years, all the auditions, rejections, and transformations, tell me what part of your younger self still lives within you, like the one that believe that there's still hope.
I would definitely say the younger self of perseverance and being tough. When I want to do something, I'll do it. And I've kind of seen that throughout my life. If I don't really want to do something, it probably won't get done. But every time it came to, I want to audition for this, I want to reach out to this person, I always have been able to do it. And I even remember like in acting school, they made us look to the left and right of us at the people next to us. And they were like, probably everyone sitting next to you won't make it in the industry. And that never was a thought in my mind. I was like, okay, that's good. But for me, I'm going to at least be doing something in the industry. It doesn't have to be being the most famous actress, but that's not going to be me. And I'm still like that to this till this day. I'm like, it's in my heart for a reason. And so I kind of describe myself as like the, the blow up things outside like the car wash and the car dealership, and you can like punch it and it still comes back up. That's kind of how I feel. Like I just keep, you can get like punched down, but I still keep coming. And I just let it go in one ear, out the other.
And with that, what something pain or failure has taught you that success never could?
It's taught me a lot. It's taught me that I'm a lot stronger than I thought. It's taught me to enjoy the moments that are good, never take the good moments for granted. But, it can be really difficult, especially when you feel like, I'm trying so hard. I'm perfect for this. Why can't anyone just give me a chance? Yeah, I think if anything, I've just realized that I'm a lot stronger than I realized that I am, and it's kind of happened. I've had a kind of a weird career throughout high school, college, through auditioning, through doing films and things. There's been a lot of moments where I've had rejections and failures, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, like that's happened to you. How are you okay right now? How did you deal with that?" And I'm like, I don't know, but I guess it's just in me to not listen to that, to learn from that instead of let it overtake me, take that to heart.
And by this point, what will be your definition of success?
I think for me, just to be able to do something in the arts full time, that would be the most successful thing I could imagine for myself. I mean, of course, I would love to be, in a leading role in a movie or do something like that. But for me, I just want to be doing this. I want to get paid for it. I don't want to have to do any other career or job. And I just want to be able to do what I love, to always have that around me.
Do you think somehow fame ruins the craft?
I think it definitely does because there's a difference. I mean, when I was doing like smaller, like short films, let's say, not like big projects, there's a different vibe when you're on the set and you're with the crew and you're with other actors. You're just doing it because you love it. You don't know where this project's gonna go, but you're just doing it from your heart and you're just doing it because it's fun. You're being able to use your imagination, be creative. And then I think when fame comes in, it causes a lot of unnecessary noise and there's expectations. We're not listening to what we really want to do anymore. It's like what the higher ups want to do. I mean, even when you were talking about like comparison and jealousy, I mean, I have to even accept the fact that there are other actresses, no matter what I do, that are going to get the role because they have someone in the industry that they know. There's a connection or something like that. So I think, fame, it can really mess up what the performing arts was meant to do, like the foundation. And I definitely, that's why I do like doing a lot of smaller projects sometimes or acting classes because you're really brought back to the craft and the beginning of why you're doing this.
Do you think somehow the more successful you are, the less free you are to do stuff?
For sure. I think as soon as you are in that level of fame recognition, you're constantly being judged. Probably, the people that represent you, they only want you to do certain projects, higher up projects for this, for money, for clout, for recognition. And so I definitely think that, even though everyone wants it, I mean, all actors want to be recognized. I would love to be recognized and appreciated, but I think it's a double-edged sword. It does come with limitations.
Now, has there ever been like a role, project, or kind of a creative experience that didn't just shape your craft, but has changed you as a human being?
I would say so I was doing this short film and it wasn't a big project. It was a smaller budget film and we were filming in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m. And I don't know if it was because I finally in that moment understood the character, related to the character, but I didn't think about the lines because I think a lot of the times an actor, you start to think about, okay, am I going to get there emotionally? Am I saying all the lines right? Am I getting all the angles for the camera? I just found myself not worrying about that. The lines just came out. I didn't think about the director or the people watching me from the crew. I just became that character. And I almost think only actors understand it's like the actor's high, like the butterfly feeling. And that's something that it's a goal for my life. I just want to always be able to feel that feeling because it's the best. The feeling that I don't need to do this scene again. I know I gave it everything and I forgot I was even filming something. I could continue on as this character. And it was a really great moment for me. So I try to do that. I try to carry it for every project that I do.
Now, in those quiet stretches between projects, when the world isn't watching, how do you remind yourself that your worth doesn't depend on being seen?
I would say to just go back to the foundation, go back to my roots. I write on the side. I have a few scripts that I've been writing, and just doing anything creative for me is what gets by without having to be seen. And you can't, being seen doesn't mean you can't have that validation. You know what I mean? You have to make your own idea of what success is. And you have to do this number one because you love it, not because other people are validating you or saying compliments to you. So I'll take an acting class. If I like a show, I'll film a monologue from it. And like I said, I'll create my own art. If someone tells me you can't play this character, you're not right, well, I'll film it and I'll say, okay, I play the character. I'll do it myself. Yeah, I think the best times as an actor that really like awakens your soul are the quiet moments in the dark when no one can see you, when you're really working on your craft on your own.
At this point, what have you learned about patience? Not the kind that kind of waits quietly, but that kind that still fights for its place.
I have learned a lot about patience. I feel like I've kind of been patient my whole life. I think when I started really getting serious about acting and being able to perform, I was in a high school, we had like a theater magnet, and it was a really toxic environment. I would audition and my teacher would be on their phone. They already knew who they were going to cast. And it really hurt me. And I was like, no, I'm going to be patient about this. I'm going to really learn how to perfect my craft on my own. I'm going to take acting classes outside. And same thing, throughout my life, there's been scenes that I've been passed up for and things like that. And I don't know, I think at the end of the day, you really have to rely on yourself and what you can do outside of that. And I've learned to be really patient, but I think with patience, great things can happen. It makes you stronger and only more deserving when that time happens. And I think even when I see another actor in a role that I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally wish I could have taken that role. I'm like, no, I'm going to be patient. That role was not meant for me. I have to accept that there is a role out there that will be meant for me. It's been hard. Like I said, I've had to have a lot of patience, but I think it can be a good thing. It's a lesson to learn.
How has heartbreak, grief, or loss transformed your craft, the way you tell stories or the way you have, like the way you see yourself?
You know, I think we talked about a little bit last episode, my grandmother passing. And before, when I would play a character, kind of when I was starting out as an actor and, their parents died or they got broken up with or something, before I was able to experience those things, it was extremely more difficult to kind of get to that headspace. I could get there if I thought hard enough, like how I would feel if this happened to me. But it was a little bit more difficult to imagine, like, the real internal feeling of loss and heartbreak. And so, after my grandmother passed, after I've experienced life more, we've gone through breakups and betrayal and things that have happened, it really just, when you get a role like that or a scene, it really, you feel that 100%. And I even feel like, unfortunately, it's like I said, it's a terrible thing to experience, but I do think it makes you a better actor. I think that's why there's so many actors that maybe start later in life and they're so successful because they have so many life experiences that they've gone through and their performances are just so much more raw than people that maybe haven't had to deal with anything like that in their life.
If you could sit down with a version of yourself who once whispered, maybe I can do this, what would you tell him today?
I would say it's a long road. Keep your head up, be confident, but you can do it. Never give up and, it's never too late. Keep chasing the dream. And I would also say be a little bit bitchier. I think I there's been moments that I feel like maybe I've been walked on a little bit trying to get through this career and be a little bit bitchier, know what you want.
Hey, respect. I like it. More badass.
Yeah.
You know. There you go. And tell me, what keeps your heart beating for the art?
I would say the feeling it gives me, I've always loved having an imagination, wanting an escape. And I've always, ever since I was a little girl, I've wanted to live a ton of different lives. Like acting has always been my main focus. But I was like, I want to be a dolphin trainer. Oh, it'd be fun to be a doctor. I always had these ideas. And so as an actor, you can do all of that. You can play all of those roles. And so I think that's what it is, that feeling of escapism, of imagination, and yeah, I think I love to entertain people. It's just the best thing being able to be on stage, have someone watch a film that you're in and just be so entertained, have that change someone else's life. It really just means the world.
And switching to our next section, speedrun questions. You know the drill. Gonna ask you a couple of questions. You can only say yes, no, or pass. You ready?
I'm ready.
There you go. So, have you ever almost giving up?
Yes, I have.
Do you still feel the same spark you did when you first started?
Yes.
Have you ever felt unseen, even at your best?
Oh, yes.
Do you believe every no has led you somewhere necessary?
No.
Have you ever forgiven yourself for a failure that haunted you?
No.
Have you ever felt trapped by people's expectation of who you should be?
Yes.
Do you think success can ever replace peace?
No.
Have you ever found truth in silence more than applause?
Yes.
Do you believe you've become the person your younger self needed?
Yes, I do.
Have you made peace with roles you didn't get?
Yes.
And right now, at this moment, do you still believe in the dream?
Yes.
There you go. Pretty cool.
Mhm.
Now, if someone could carry forward only one piece of your story, one lesson, feeling, or spark, tell me, what would you want that to be?
I would say the just to that I how determined I've been. I really want to carry that to others, to never give up, that it's never too late. And no matter what, just keep going. If you have something inside of you that, you can't see yourself doing anything else, just keep going towards that dream. Because there have been times I thought, I would have hit more success already and I haven't, but I realized it's never too late. Don't let others' success define what you think that you should be doing. I just hope that my determination is what is passed forward and just that love.
And you know what? My last question, so we can all enjoy and relax. So, what would be the best title for this chapter of your life?
I would say the season of resilience. That's definitely been this chapter, a lot of resilience. So I would say that the season of resilience.
Hey, that is amazing. I'll take it. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like the sequel for the first book we will be releasing about your career. Like
Right?
that first title you said. This could be like the sequel to it. So that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I love that. That's good.
At some point we might be creating a trilogy. Who knows? Just saying.
Maybe that's good.
That's amazing. And I mean, I did. What can I say? The fact. I just love it. I just love the fact you're still there. You're still fighting for your place to it. That's amazing. That's badass. For you to talk about kind of a little bit about your personal stuff, about the things that maybe not everyone they don't see it every single day. So I want to thank you so much for making this happen. Definitely, I'm sure that our next conversation that will be about the multiple projects you've been here and there, because I do believe that great things happen to amazing people, and you are definitely an incredible, amazing person, and I'm excited for what 2026 will be for you. And yeah, keep shining out there for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. I love that you have the platform for this, for us to be able, actors to be able to talk and be so open. Last thing I was going to say, based what you just said, it gave me a thought. It is hard when you see actors that are already successful talking about their struggles. It is hard to relate a little bit because you're like, okay, you've been there, but now you're successful. So I think it's good to hear from actors who are still in that, still fighting. So that's what I hope that other actors can get from this, that, we're all in the same boat. So I really appreciate you having me on again.
I also want to thank those who stayed the whole episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below. But by this point, come on. You should know why Grace super badass. As I said here, definitely she just keep raising the bar. So let's share some love. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining out there, keep rocking, keep kicking ass. And I'll definitely be seeing you in the next one.